The ripple effect on legacy. What are you leaving behind? Real problems, real posts, real people. It's tea time, so grab your favorite cup of tea or whatever it is you like to drink, and let's spill the tea and clean it up. Let's go.
Person to condemn. It's easy for a person to kind of look.
What's up? Before we get into this, let me introduce myself and my special guest. I'm Tanya, one half of TNL.J Vision's relationship coaches, and I'm joined by my other half today,
Lamar?
and he here to put some lemonade in the tea. Woo-hoo-hoo. So today we got a good one.
No sugar.
No sugar. Just lemonade and tea, okay? I've already got the sweet tea in there, okay? All right, so legacy is very important.
It's a topic that everybody's talking about.
Yes, it is. It's a topic that everybody's talking about. So there is a ripple effect to legacy, and there is a way to do legacy. Okay? So we ran across this video of Cam and Jason Wilson discussing the ripple effect of legacy and the importance of self-control and accountability. And we wanted to get into it a little bit. So we're not going to hold you. We're going to get into the video. Let me see if I can go back a little bit on this one.
Person to condemn. It's easy for a person to kind of look at a situation and say what they wouldn't do without having the opportunity to do. Shannon Sharp was a person who got exposed by...
Okay, let me pause for a second. For those of you who may not know, Jason Wilson, the other guy, did a video about, the Shannon Sharp situation. And Jason Wilson is a sharp dude. He's a biblical sharp dude, so I'm sure I hadn't seen the video yet. Have you caught the video?
I saw a little bit of it. But I know what he was talking about. Yeah, self-control and all that stuff. It's the main characteristic of a man.
Okay, and he was discussing the main characteristics of a man. Just wanted to...
No, he wasn't. I said it.
Oh, that was you. Okay. Well, anyway, he did a video on that, so you can check that out, on your own. But let's hop back into it, because Lamont and I are going to react to this. This is a reaction.
An opportunist, some would say. Some would also say, hey, no, what he did was not right. He has to be held responsible for his actions. The thing that I always have as a resource in my life is my father. My father has been married for 40 plus years. He tells us that every Sunday dinner, right? My mother only knows my father. My mother's father introduced my father to his calling as a pastor. And when we have heart-to-heart conversations about my inability to get married or settle down, the things that are kind of brushed away is like, oh, you don't have self-control. You don't have discipline. But I ask this, and I say it to you also, to Mr. Jason. When you go certain places, like people really wouldn't know who you are, respectfully.
You're wrong.
No,
but go ahead.
No, I'm
just messing with you.
I'm trying to make a point.
Yes, sir.
And the point is, when you talk or when there's discussions about how a man can fall victim,
yes,
it's and let me go back, because that did not sound right.
No, I appreciate it. I know where you're going.
I'm not talking to you per se, but I'm talking
to the average man, right?
No. These are conversations that I have with my father.
No. I'm saying listen, brother, I appreciated what you said.
Yeah.
I apologize for interrupting.
Yeah.
I'm saying I understand where you're going, meaning you brothers, the temptation is greater. Am I correct?
No, that is absolutely Right.
Okay, great.
But it's one of those things that when I had these discussions with my father, a person who is the most influential person in my life, there's not things where it's like, yeah, but it's always with a but though. And going like this is the topic of Shannon Sharp, right? And I'm not saying what Shannon Sharp was good, bad, or indifferent. What I am saying is I can relate to falling victim to the lust. And through that, when going back to the discussion of like, hey, when you go places, nobody really would know. But for me, that's a part of my lifestyle, mixing, mingling.
Which is, understandable, but at the same time, he don't have to fall into it.
Yeah. At the same, yeah.
You got.
Like I said, temptation. Like I said, I hear you talking about temptation for everybody. And he said, as his higher status, he get more access to temptation, more access to women. But when I hear men say that excuse is excuse, and excuses sound best to people who give them, he also get more access. And here's the thing: he also has more eyes on him. So he got more barrier. It takes a lot more for somebody, a celebrity, to go out there and cheat than to do for an average person. That nobody knows, because they can easily slide up on the radar. But versus somebody who's famous, as soon as they come to a certain location, like they come into a hotel, people already, oh, this game, and they snapping pictures. So it actually take more for a person to fall victim to lust. It also takes a lot more energy for a person to fall victim to lust, being of a high status. In the same way, a man that does not have access to women or to cheat or something, it's the same way a man do have access. It takes the same amount of energy. It takes more energy for, like I said, for a man of high status to cheat than it does for a man with low status to cheat. Because nobody knows them. They can either slide in and out. Nobody knows them. It takes the same amount of energy. The thing is, what do you give energy to? Some people are running from, and some people are running to. And even though I know he said something about like when he dinner and stuff, you still gotta dinner is not don't equal to you being in the room with the person.
Right.
That still take you going. So the same amount of energy takes the status. You got access to more temptation. You also got more barriers to entry to get inside that temptation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It takes a lot more effort.
It takes a lot more effort to go ahead and to get into it. And the Bible says flee from temptation. So with like a person like Cam and his dad, a lot of times to flee, you actually take a lot more to do what you do.
Yeah, putting in.
You still put yourself in a sinful place.
Yeah.
Having dinner with somebody is not a sinful place. If you in a flirtatious, if your mood is flirtatious, that puts you in a sinful place. Now you when you flirtatious, then you take that flirtation and say, okay, let's meet up at the room. So it's taking the same amount of energy.
Seems like it's taking more.
It takes more. I think it takes more for somebody.
You gotta hide.
Because
you gotta
make
sure ain't nobody
make sure ain't nobody see me going here. It takes more energy. So while he using that excuse why he would do it, I see that excuse why people stats when they're more famous celebrities, why it's easy for them to get out of it, not going to do it. But see, so that's why I said certain people can see it. They can see the one thing as an excuse. Okay, actually that's legit. He got access to more women. But he also got access to more things that can put in place to prevent him from going down that luscious path.
Yeah. Like a bodyguard, aka accountability partner.
I ain't gonna get into that part. Okay. I just kept the surface there, but I ain't gonna get into that part.
Okay.
Networking, being in different places and saying, hey, man, we got to go to dinner. Dinner leads to different opportunities. Hey, let's talk about business. All right, cool. Whether it's on a golf course, whether it's in a conference room, whether it's at a bar, whether it's wherever. Business can be taking place any place. And I think the tough part is when you're actually in that situation, if you knew what you will find out, you definitely wouldn't do. But to say, hey, you don't have discipline, that's a little triggering given the circumstances that one person has been in versus another person being in. And that's all I say.
right there. And go ahead, this your show.
No,
Go
no,
ahead, go
you
ahead,
go
go ahead, go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
It's the takeover.
And like he said, when you put in that position, dinner does not lead to you being in the room with somebody.
Hmm.
You gotta officially take more energy to do that.
Yeah.
You gotta take more energy to do that. Go. Let me go back a little bit.
That's a little triggering given the circumstances that one person has been in versus another person being in. And that's all I say.
Okay,
And they
good.
say lack self control. You know, I look at this that so when I hear men say like self control, and what kills me is you see a person with self control. He was steady going to made it to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So a person got self control. I look at, like I said, I look at a lot of these men like, you know what I'm saying. Raising kids teach you a lot about people.
Hmm.
People are people. The way humans do, the way humans do. And when you get to raise kids, you really get the spirits, the evolving of a human and their habits, their ways,
Hmm.
and the way the life seems to take them based on their habits and their ways.
Hmm.
And every time like I said, I see my son, my last one born, I see him do his habits and
Hmm.
his self control that he had on things he liked. When I hear a man like say let's say Cam Newton, when people say like self control only applies to things that it's not about self control. It's about, do I want to use self control in this area or do I not?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily yet. It is a want to,
Hmm.
because sometimes you got self control. Like Cam Newton, he does have self control, but does he want to apply it to this area? And then it
That's the
goes back to the
thing.
arrogance thing.
Yeah.
Most people say I don't, because why? Why would I apply self control in this area when I'm a man of high status? So they say I'm a man of high value. So they
Hmm.
say I'm a man with money. Can't argue with that. But those are the characteristics that people use of why they can't have self control. And like the Bible says, a man without self control is like a city without walls. He's open for anything to come in there.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll keep going.
You were wrong about me going places and not being recognized. Maybe not to your level, of course. Shouldn't be as equal as that. But I've been in situations in LA with my brother Matt Barnes and my good friend Vic, smooth brother as well. Women literally like, where y'all from? What you do? Brother the janitor, buff at a school. Teachers want to holler at him, same temptation. I've been in situations where I'm talking in rooms with women.
Yeah. All good. And people like in his stats, like he worked with kids, so he have access to a lot of women.
Hmm.
And the most vulnerable state that a woman see when she sees you taking care of, like he don't, let's say they didn't have father figure, and
Hmm.
this woman see this man pouring into a kid and stuff that's not his, that turns women on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people have access, but the real thing of anybody is, do I let temptation lead me or do I not? And like I said, the biggest thing is when you higher status, mean you actually got a lot more to lose.
Hmm.
That's a big boy thing. And but either way, we still got to put ourselves in an extra predicament to cheat. It's just not as easy as what we see women and you got access. No access, you still got to do the same thing
Yeah.
that takes for anybody else to do. You have to do more to actually go and cheat, to do the thing, to fall victim to that lust.
Hmm.
So we can stop ourselves. We know the things and triggers that make lust happen. Let's say, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has been single for once. I was once single. And I know when I get in moods, like if I'm talking, if I'm doing too much, I ain't gonna do too much. I'm not gonna be flirtatious. I'm not gonna get in the same spirit of mood I got when I was actively pursuing my woman. This is totally, I'm not gonna get in that, and I'm gonna make sure I stop that. The flirtation, doing too much talking, certain things that we do that we know lead to certain things. So if you stop that, then you know you got a good chance of not going to the next level.
Yeah.
But if you still like, let's say Cam, if he's still out there, he talk, but being flirtatious when you talking is a totally different thing. You got that's self control. You got to
Yeah.
learn
You
how to turn that
still.
down.
Yeah.
So when you is talking to a woman of opposite sex, and you thinking every woman that you got to sleep with it, that's a self control issue.
Yeah. I mean, just because you of higher status or you know more than another person don't mean that you have you know,
You yo yo
your
yo
self control is different than the
yeah
other man.
yeah
You just run into it more. You
yeah
might just run into it more, but you can still self control is self control.
yeah.
Once you got self control, you got
You
self
got self
control
control.
over
Yeah
few
yeah.
or over many.
And you know the crazy thing is about, like I say, I look at men. Me personally, I base the man off his ability to have self control.
Hmm.
Anybody can be loose. You know what I'm saying? I look at many men as we look through our generations. We can go back to the first one, Adam and Eve. Our generation would have been saved if Adam would not have ate the fruit. we still fall, and that's hawking to the voice of a woman. We still falling for the same pattern that Adam fell for, and that's temptation. Just let somebody else steer us in a direction, and nobody and nothing. The bottom, just your karacha down there should not be the one that's dictating your life.
Yeah,
Whatever down there,
your karacha.
karacha, whatever. I don't know, sriracha, whatever. That's probably for the girl. But
Oh, okay.
your second head down there should not be the thing that dictates a man's decision. That's a man without self control.
Yeah.
I don't care what status or value you get. And yes, the temptation is more, but we also, if Cam Newton, let's keep it on Cam Newton. If I got more money, I can put more things in place to to have me accountability.
Hmm.
And I hear a lot of preachers. I say, some people, they have people that go with them. They got bodyguards and stuff that go with them that hold them accountability. You ain't Puffy all through the Puff Diddy case and stuff. This little conspiracy going on. He had bodyguards that was with him, and those bodyguards, they was actually into it, or they can say nothing. So I can easily hire a bodyguard to be my accountability partner when they see me overstepping things that will get me in trouble, doing too much flirting with a girl, going to dinner, and then talking about giving them my room number. Anything like that, they see me going overboard. I can pay accountability partner to keep me in check. And with
Yeah.
money, that's what I would do. I mean, if I know I'm in a facility with more people, sometimes you need more accountability partner.
Hmm.
If I don't put these things in place, then that means what? I'm
You
willing it.
wanting it.
I'm
You
wanting
looking
it.
for it.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for it. That's all that. Like I said, the more money you got, your stats mean a lot, but you still have more resources to put in place to prevent
Yeah.
that. So excuses sound best to the people who's doing it. Everybody got temptation. The thing is, do we fall to temptation? And not only that is the strength of a man, the stableness of a man, the value of the man is based on how he fell victim to lust and pleasure. That's most people. Victim to lust and pleasure. You can do all the good deeds you want to, but when a man falls victim to lust and pleasure, he devalues himself. No matter the status, devalue is devalue.
Hmm.
Now, society may look at it, but society is nobody compared to God.
Wanting a man who can actually tap into her inner being, her thoughts, that isn't just a monofaceted male or a male with just one gear. All he can do is hump on her. I work with single mothers with their sons, helping their sons navigate through their father wounds and even mother wounds. And
Shoot, in these days, I do feel like women would rather a man like,
Yeah,
flirt
yeah,
with a man like Jason than Cam.
yeah. I mean, Cam Newton is a diamond dozen man.
Yeah.
You can take anybody to stick. So yeah, you might have a little money, but I mean, most people with money, they ain't give you too much no way.
Yeah. And he, like you said, taking care of
Yeah,
he pouring into people's children
yeah.
and all kinds of things. So yeah.
failing in
Coaches be
school,
having
you think
access to a
there's
lot of
no temptation of women trying to come on me?
We all have temptation.
Yeah, but
the degree of
but
temptation,
see, man, I'm gonna talk. How old are you, Cam?
like 53,
I'm gonna turn that around 35.
close.
All right. So
58.
you're young enough to be my son, and I say that
Yes, sir.
respectfully because
Yes,
you
sir.
got an amazing father. David told Solomon before he died to show himself a man. When I look at you and what you've accomplished on the field of football, you're a warrior, son.
You got it in them.
I don't care what position I put you in, you'll handle it if you trained right. The issue isn't, son, that you lack discipline. You've shown that. You're here now. You got discipline. You got self-control. Look at all you've accomplished.
Like I say,
It's the
What you're
arrogance.
lacking is the
two things that, like I say, two things. Arrogance come into play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I can have self control, but I don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And see,
Well,
that's
I don't want
I
to.
don't want to. And see what that's called right there is complete rebellion against God's commandment. And see, Cam Newton, you see people. Some people grew up in church, and it's one thing, sometimes we can't help it, but it's nothing we can't help it, and we don't want to help it. That's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the case that a lot of high value men be in. They can help it, but they don't want to because they arrogant. They say, "Well, I'm a high value man," as society call them.
Mm-hmm.
All men and women, I can get men and women. Why society say these kind of men like us should have multiple women, and if you conform to this world, then you deny God. Blatant sin is a whole different story than somebody who just sinned. And the more you know the Bible, the more you held accountable for what you know. And like you said, the more the status, the more the value you could bring to people. So somebody like Cam Newton, his status, he could change generations. But yet we use our status and our symbol with arrogance, and we end up hurting generations. And he said, I know he said the thing like, well, Jesus wasn't married. He was saying in his video, like, was Jesus married? And that was his point that he was kept trying to drill and the man to. And y'all think y'all should catch the whole thing, but I think he was getting to, we'll see, you can be single and still glorify, do they chase God.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to be single, Jesus was single, he was a virgin. If you're single and you don't want to be in a married, then you're not allowed to have sex. And if you are, then you're blatantly sinning against rebelling against God. You say, I'm gonna have what I want to have, forget how God say that it should be in the order it should be. I am God, so I make my own rules. And it's rebellion. And not only that, you leaving a legacy of rebellion.
Yeah.
self-love piece. Things have happened in your life that triggered what's happening now. The Super Bowl, for instance, which I, again, salute you for being transparent. Everyone can talk about why didn't he jump on the ball? Why didn't... Now, one thing you say is your analogy you were saying, what I can't relate to is being in Super Bowl 50, right?
Yes, sir.
Beast quarterback. Like you were my son's top dog.
Yes, sir.
Everyone was pulling for y'all to win. That I knew in my sphere of influence. I ain't never been in that position. Millions of people watching. Ball gets knocked out of my hand. Just that moment of hesitation. Like I teach in fighting, self-defense. The guy has a knife. This moment of this will get you killed. You got to respond. In that moment, because I watched it again, hearing the commentators like, now that's applicable. You put them in that situation, that's different.
Person to condemn.
Good, man.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, but I ain't got nothing.
And like I said, I love the analogy. And the analogy he used at the end is, like I said, when Cam Newton, the Super Bowl thing, I guess Cam Newton dropped the ball, fumbled the ball at the end of close to the end of the game and stuff. And he didn't, they was like, why he didn't fall on the ball? He think he was trying to grab it or something, but he could have easily fell on the ball and redeemed it. And that's the chance that, like I said, but basically what he was talking about was that split second decision. A lot of time, everybody got that split second decisions when self-control is needed. And you got a split second where you can say, I'm gonna fall victim to this lust or the stuff of the lust. I'm gonna fall victim to the lust, or I'm gonna have self-control and not fall victim. Everybody got that split the second.
Yes. And that goes for us too, women.
Yeah, it goes for we got that split second where we make decisions. Do I fall into it or do I not? And a lot of times when you, like I said, it takes energy to actually cheat. It takes energy to actually fall into lust. You got to be sneaky. I mean, it takes a lot of energy. Yeah, you might have more options to cheat, but you also have more options to get out of it too. Men of high value. And me personally, like I say, I watch people in my generations, all the men that I come across in my generations. My father, I can use my father for once. He was they would say provider man. I never knew him, but he was a provider man. I knew him a little bit, but he didn't. He wasn't in my life, but in society, say he was a provider man. Took care of the house. Woman didn't have to work, but he was a provider man. He would call a man but he was, as far as his self control, he lacked it. And still to this day, he's still trying to holler at my mama. He's a married man, but lacks self control. And I look at the value of every man based off his ability to have self control. And self control really lets you get, let's say, get married. It lets you plant deeper. So many men, we think the wideness you go is the better.
Mm-hmm.
Like they think more is better. No, it's how deep, because a firm foundation, when a storm comes and stuff, you will not be blown away. But a man that builds his stuff is
Right.
rock on unstable foundation,
Mm-hmm.
meaning he's trying to go wide. He's trying to touch everything that he taste every woman he see, touch everything that lust is controlling his every move. Then that man is loose. Like I said, a city without walls. And that man has no self-control. And not only that, he got his people. God forbid you have kids and generations after you watching us. Men like Cam Newton, you set the tone for the generations people come. When they see a man like him get married, they see a man like him get stable, they say, okay, that's what I'm going to do. But when they see a man like him not get married, not get stable, they say, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. So heavy is the head to wear the crown. I think so much these people so-called have value. Value is the stuff you give the people. And it's easy to give value to people. Let's say like you can donate and giving all that stuff back. You got the money, you got the time. It's easy to give value when you got that. But the value you give to the generation or his kids will be stability, firmness, steadiness, stand fast, self-control.
Yeah.
Because go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I'm interject.
Because self-control and stable is going to give them the ability when he leaves them money, they'll be able to use it wisely. Because so many people talk about legacy, passing down legacy. You can't pass down legacy. The best legacy we can pass down is knowledge, financial knowledge, and how to relate, relational knowledge, how to keep a relationship intact. Because from then we're gonna start creating broken people, money scattered all around. You can't leave a legacy when you got 8 different households with the money at. You can leave a legacy, you got one household, and that family learn how to work together. Because that's when we stronger together versus apart. And self-control will allow you to focus on one thing, one person, one relationship, and go deep ground for things to grow off of. The sturdier the ground, the deeper you go in one place, one setting, then the sturdier the ground be. Scattered ground is soft. The wider you go, the softer the ground is. And the softer the generations gonna be coming behind you.
Okay. And just for my interjection, I gotta take away back to you saying your father. You sure gave him a lot of grace. That is not your father.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
That is your donor.
Yeah.
Okay. And a lot can be learned just off of your story, your testimony right there alone, because as you said, your father to this day is a married man and he's still trying to talk to your mom. Mm-hmm. No self-control. But look at how you did it. Yeah. You didn't blame it on your father. Like you could have easily been a cheater or, out here going wide.
Yeah, I mean, because everybody got access to women.
Yeah, but you didn't do that. You took it. Like a lot of men excuses. My dad was like that, I got it from my dad. I got it from my daddy. But you took it the other way.
Because I see
learn from what he did. You learn. You look at that. You turn.
And I met men that was strictly provider men, but unstable men and no self-control.
But I say that to say that all men can do it. If one can, all men can. So it's time to stop using excuses because you're creating a ripple effect to your legacy.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you're creating a negative ripple effect to your legacy.
Legacy is deep, not wide.
Right. So if you want to change the trajectory, then change the way you do things, change the way you see things, change the way you value
Yeah.
things.
And value yourself more to have self control. The beginning of a growing man is his ability to have self control. That was the first commandment. God say, have dominion. You got to have
Yeah,
dominion over self. The thing between your legs should not be the thing that leads you.
yeah,
And a man like Cam Newton, that seems to be the thing. That's where he has no self control at. So the thing that you loose at, that's the thing that you need to contain, and
yeah,
then you will become establishment of building manhood.
yeah,
Nobody is a man if you still reacting in little boy ways.
yeah,
You have to put away childish ways, and one of the childish ways that a boy think with is this little thing between his legs.
yeah.
So control that, and you start building the habit. You start digging deep on becoming a man.
Morph into other areas in your life where you hesitate. I talk to a lot of men about being married. They can love the woman, desire to be with her, and they always say, well, Mr. Wilson, I need to get a little more money. Mr. Wilson, I need to get this house. You know what? Maybe when I get this business going, I'll go ahead and lock that in. I said, me and my wife, we got it together.
Yeah,
Together. That's
I
the
didn't
best
have
way to do
money,
it.
a lot of money. My wife was a nurse. We put that together. That's why the scriptures say it's not good for man to be alone. The woman in Hebrew, the word helper is Azah, which also means a shield,
yeah,
succor, support. So many of us, when you look at what's happening in our community, we're missing that,
yeah,
especially when studies come out to show that over 80% of millionaires are married. What are we missing? Majority of us is fear. And then the inadequacy piece, the imposter syndrome. Now, when I get married, I can't be a stoic. Oh, she's going to find out that I'm depressed sometime. She's going to find out that, man, I still struggle with confidence. I'm really not the leader she thinks I am for her to be around me all day long. That's why I say, man, it's not the lack of discipline.
yeah,
It's not even self control. Those are fruits of the seeds that have been planted. So if you don't have the right seeds and the right soil,
yeah.
your manifestation of the bad fruit is what we're seeing now in so many men.
So many men is me. The example that you gave, self-love, as far as the Super Bowl,
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a firm. And me and my wife, we got married young. Why? Because it ain't about, like I said, you build on, you grow on the way up. Each time in the Bible said, walk. And when you start going walking, when you walking with two, you start building on the way, man. It's better to two. It's better to build with two than one. And the legacy that we need to pass down is relational legacy.
Mhm.
Good relational legacy, then you'll be able to get when you do have money inside the legacy, then you'll be able to control that more. Nothing's like trying to scatter things so wide. It's like you chase every rabbit, you'll catch none.
Yeah. So, what kind of legacy are you trying to leave?
Yeah,
Ask yourself that. This has been another tea time. What you sipping? I ain't
yeah,
even asked what you sipping. What you sipping out there? I ain't sipping nothing today.
yeah,
Nope, not today. Um, we're out and about. We ain't really been out today yet. We finna go.
yeah,
And so I'm like, no tea for me. But let us know what you sipping on.
yeah,
And be sure to let us know what you think about this
yeah,
in the comments. And we encourage you to catch the full video on this.
yeah.
Okay? Because
Yeah.
wow.
And the beginning of manhood is self control. You never step and start beginning manhood until you have self control. And not like I said, if you have self control in one area, you can put it in another. So let that pride go, let that ego go, and apply self control that you got in one area into other areas of your life,
Mm-hmm.
and watch the ripple effect, the positive ripple effect that it will have on the legacy that men so called say they want to create.
Yeah.
Because you can create a good legacy or you can create a bad legacy. Which legacy will you be creating?
Yeah.
Which legacy will you be leaving behind?
Well, thank you so much for that final thought. You definitely cleaned it up, babe. And again, this has been another tea time. We'll see you on the next one, same time, same place. Give it up for Lamont. Woo! He bought that lemonade. See you on the next one.
See you on the
Until
next
then,
one.
I'm just sip my little tea.